Hey everyone, it's me, Nicole, and I wanted to give you guys a quick moving update. I don't know if it's going to be quick. I always say quick and it's really whatever. So I wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on with our moving situation. It's been a bit of a fiasco. We began our journey looking for either a house or a duplex or a townhouse, something that was a little bit more of a one-on-one landlord type of situation, somewhere we could feel a little bit more like a home instead of, just like living in an apartment. And I wanted a little bit more space, and I needed a washer and dryer. That was my one must-have. I have to have a washer and dryer with two, and especially if we're going to be cloth diapering, I need a washer and dryer. So that was my main thing. Like, I needed that. And we looked at a couple of places that were at the top of our price range, but they were in horrible neighborhoods, and they had mouse traps everywhere, and they were just a mess. And so we kind of thought that maybe that wasn't the right road to be going down. So we called a friend of ours, and he buys, renovates, and then either rents out or sells properties. So we thought that maybe he would have a property for us to rent, and we gave him a call, and he asked us why we weren't looking into buying. And we told him, we told him our whole situation. We let him know on all the reasons why we are horrible candidates for buying a house right now. And he told us, I think we can get around those things. I think I can help you buy a house. Why don't we do this? And so we spent a couple of good weeks looking into, buying one of his houses. We chose a house. We kind of put all of our eggs in that basket, and come to find out that we knew we weren't good candidates for buying a house, and we put a contract in and we tried to get financing, and lo and behold, we are not good candidates. So that was tough because, even though we knew that we shouldn't get our hopes up, and even though we knew that we weren't good candidates, the confidence of our friend saying that he would be able to help us out and not to worry about it, that everything was going to be fine, it kind of encouraged us to put our hopes up a little bit. And so we started thinking about, wow, we could end up paying less than half of what we pay in rent for a mortgage and own a house. Like, this is going to be awesome. And we started, and then we found out that we weren't eligible, and so that was a little bit of a blow, and we grieved a little bit on that, but it wasn't that big of a deal. We still had a backup plan, even though at this point it was really getting down to the nitty-gritty as far as time was concerned. So we went to one of the apartment complexes. We had to go back and decide we were going to go do an apartment complex, and we decided to put an application there, and they started running our background check and things like that. And the next day, the day after we put the application in, I get a phone call from Robert in the morning, and it was past the time that he should have been home from work, and I get a phone call, and he let me know that he got let go from his job. And he was so upset and so distraught, and I just told him, I was like, you know what, honestly, at this point we have to figure out what we're gonna do, and I freaked out. I started freaking out a little bit. We freaked out together. We didn't know what we were going to do. We withdrew our application. We didn't want to, as it was, the price of the apartment was already going to be at the top of our budget. And so we didn't want to go ahead with that, knowing that, we're going to sign a lease and be responsible for 12 months when we didn't know where our income was going to come from. And so the reason that they let him go was nothing that had to do with him. They hire you at this place, they hire you on a probation basis, and then after you get through your probation, you're a permanent employee. And so he had gone through his probationary period, and then they said they wanted to extend his probationary period. They didn't give him a reason or anything like that. They just said that they needed to extend it. So we just figured, okay, no big deal, whatever. 2 weeks ago, he got his evaluation, and it was all good. It was like all positive, nothing negative on his evaluation. They told him he was doing good. They told him he was going to be getting a raise in January and then another raise in March. They told him that they wanted him to train for other positions, and so he could get promotions and things like that. I mean, there was no inclination that this was coming, and but because he was still in his probationary period, and if he would have worked till today, till Friday, he would have been considered a permanent employee. But on Monday they came in and they told him, we're gonna let you go. And just like that, just as if it's no big deal, the week before Christmas, when his wife is pregnant, when they're getting ready to move, you're just gonna walk in and be like, you know, sorry. Not even sorry. They didn't even say sorry. They just told him, we're gonna let you go. And I felt so horrible for him because, you know, everything else that kind of, and not that everything went wrong before, but just the kind of letdowns that we've been having, and we thought that this was going to be an option and it wasn't. We thought buying a house was going to be an option and it wasn't. And then we finally were like, okay, this is going to be it. We're at peace with this. We're good with this. And then he loses his job. And so it was just horrible. And at that point, we didn't know what we were going to do. We didn't know where we were going to go. Honestly, I mean, who's gonna have us, you know, knowing that he's unemployed, who's gonna let us sign a lease with them? Who's gonna want to work with us? And we honestly were just like, we're gonna be homeless. We have nowhere to go. And if we do have anywhere to go, it's gonna be split up. You know, I'm gonna have to go live with my family. That our family's houses aren't necessarily big enough for all of us to come. And so I would have to go live with my family. He'd have to go live with his family. We would have to be split up. We just wouldn't be together. And so we freaked out, you know, when we began praying and just calling everybody that we could think of, and just literally like his sisters, my parents, and just a mess. We were just a mess. So that first day we were just a mess, and then the second day we just sat in the house and we watched movies and TV and hung out with Sadie. You know, the day that we freaked out, it was not fair to Sadie, because she needs to feel like she's safe and secure and that she has a home, and that no matter what, we're going to keep her safe. And that day we were just not, we weren't that for her. You know, we weren't that for ourselves. We weren't that for her. So the next day we just really wanted to make Sadie feel safe and secure and loved. And so we snuggled and we hung out, and Robert, even with all the moving and the craziness that's going on, we didn't decorate for Christmas. And so Robert went out and he went to our storage unit and got our Christmas tree and brought it in, and we put the Christmas tree up and we decorated it, and we smiled and we laughed and we hugged each other, and we just forgot about everything else. And then the next day after that, my dad gives me a call, and there's a guy that he works with that runs a restaurant. And the guy that runs the restaurant, above his restaurant, he has an apartment. And the apartment is open. And it's an option. So we didn't know where we were going to go, what we were going to do. We were just praying that something would come up. And we were, you know, thinking of, we were going to call the state and see if they had housing. And we didn't know. Like, we honestly, literally, we thought we were going to be homeless for sure. And my dad let me know that this guy that he knows that owns a restaurant had an apartment on top of his place, and that he would work with us. So the next adventure, and I'm a little hesitant because every other thing that has been a plan has fallen apart. So we go see the apartment tomorrow morning, and I'm praying and hoping. I mean, we literally have 10 days to move, and we're just hoping and praying that this is going to be it. So if it is it, I'm kind of excited. It doesn't have a washer and dryer, so that's a big bummer, but we're going to have a roof over our heads, and we're going to be together, and everything's going to be okay. So, and we're going to be on top of a restaurant, and right across the parking lot is an ice cream shop. So it'll be an adventure. It'll definitely be different, you know. Sadie, not every kid gets to say that they've lived above a restaurant, you know, and it's not forever. It's just until we can get back on our feet and kind of figure things out. So please pray for us. We really need it. We've been stressed out. Really just, really stressed out this past month. So my next OB appointment is the week after we move in, and I hope everything's okay with that. I just, with all the stress that's going on, I just don't think I could hear anything else, anything else that's not planned, you know. And then also the next week after that, Sadie's gonna have her final surgery to take the rod that's in her arm out. So, and that's gonna be an easy surgery. They do have to put her under general anesthesia, but all they have to do is put a little cut in her elbow and then pull the rod out. And then she doesn't even have to be in a cast. They'll fit her with a splint and she'll be good to go. So that's really, really exciting. There's some really good things coming up. Really, January is going to be an awesome month. I just know it. We've got the gender ultrasound, the anatomy scan, and we'll find out the gender, and it's going to be a great month. We've just got to get through December. And on that note, I do want to say that no matter what's going on, you know, in all the craziness, it's still Christmas, and Jesus still came to earth, and he's still my savior, and above all, that's amazing and something to be celebrated. So on that note, I will go ahead and close this vlog, and I will say that I will talk to you soon. Regardless of if we have internet where we are, I will still be filming. I just don't know how often I'll be able to upload, but I will definitely keep you guys updated on our story. So I hope that I will be able to communicate with you guys soon, and I will still be able to receive your messages and receive your comments and things like that. You can also follow me on Facebook, and we can keep in contact that way, because even if I don't have the internet, I will still have my phone, and my phone has internet on it. So that being said, I will go ahead and let you guys go. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.